Hi, welcome to a pre-show of Zip Happens.
Yeah, welcome. We just wanted to take a minute to let you know about some of the content that's coming up in this episode so that everyone's fully informed.
Yes, we have an amazing guest on, and our guest talks about one of the real struggles that is occurring in a variety of different settings, but right now in the TTRPG world, which is really focusing on sexual assault and sexual harassment, and how that affects players, games, and what it's like to be unheard. And we wanted to let you know that this is a content warning for those of you who might be triggered by this. We totally respect your decision to step away from this particular episode for your own mental health and well-being. And those of you who choose to stay, you may notice that throughout this, I actually look like I'm checking out, and I'm not. I'm listening very much to what our guest is saying, but as somebody who is triggered by that particular type of content, it is me processing it in a way that is comfortable enough. But we didn't want to not air this episode because we both know that this is an important topic, in addition to the fact that our guest talks a lot about diversity and bringing that to the TTRPG world as well. So here's your content warning, folks. If any of that makes you uncomfortable, please do what you need to do for your own health and well-being today. And we appreciate that you're here, and we will see you next week. And thank you so much for supporting us.
Thank you all. Hey, welcome back to Sip Happens. I'm the not as good host, Sean.
I'm the better good host. I don't know, Rosie.
The better good. Yeah, that's usually how people talk about that. So yeah, the better good host, Rosie. So Rosie, what are we doing today? Who are we? Do we have someone to talk to, or is it just us again? God, I hope it's not just us.
I hope it's not just us. You know, I think we have a guest. One of your many guests that you've invited.
Me? You act like we didn't approve the list together.
I know, I love the list. I'm just saying this is another amazing person that you're connected with in this awesome community.
Cool. Do you want to tell us about that person? Or at least their name?
No. You have all of the information. I mean, it's Nikki Johnson.
I'm trying to give you more screen time. It is Nikki Johnson.
But I don't have
yes.
any information about Nikki up because I don't know if you remember this, but I do all the producing stuff and you do all like the
I didn't
guest related things.
You're right.
So,
I didn't.
Tell us about Nikki. Tell us what she does, who she is, why she's part of this awesome community.
So Nikki Johnson is a vital part of the RPG community, especially here in Atlanta where I live. She is a co-runner of Slady's ATL. She has a beautiful family that we're going to talk about and make fun of. She plays a lot of TTRPGs, including and especially Dungeons & Dragons. And you can find her on Twitch in 3 places. 3 Twitchy places. Also here right now. So 3 other Twitchy places.
Regularly on these other ones. This is just a once roll here. Maybe twice. We might have her back season 2. Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's going pretty badly. So. But the Slady's ATL Twitch channel, which if you haven't checked out, you totally should. The Craftic Studios Twitch channel and the Chaotic Tiefling Twitch channel, which I'm
all in chat.
Also sure are both amazing, although I've never seen either of those. Which maybe
Sean?
I should admit that. Yeah.
What happened to your face?
Oh, I'm wearing my more basic glasses, I think.
Oh, that's right. That is the thing I noticed. I don't usually see those on you.
Remember before and or after this when we have our interview with Dr. B, and I said that I didn't like what my beard was doing. I didn't like what my beard was doing, so I decided to start over for the first time in 8 years. So that's a thing. My face is cold, hence the tall and the scarf.
Yeah, you gotta stay warm. Well, we're gonna drink tea too. Oh wait, is there anything else that you want to tell anyone about Nikki before we talk about our tea?
That I want to. I mean, I want to tell everyone in the world that I'm in love with her.
Okay.
And her wonderful partner in crime, April. But we'll talk more about that when she gets here. But yeah, tell us about this tea.
Today we are drinking another Dryad tea, so yay. And this one's called Fawn. And a deep, delicious, deep chocolate note is the base for this tea, blended in true chai style with the playful, fun-loving, and often sensual Fawn in mind.
I do often think of Fawn as sensual. That is a thought that crosses my mind. I would say 2 or 3 times a day.
Wow, that's a lot of times you're thinking about fawns and
what's a
stuff.
fawn? Is a fawn? satyr?
Yeah, it's like a fey creature.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I'm good. It's not like someone in the comments is like, it's a deer, you idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's a part of my brain that's like, it's a deer. Nikki's trying to answer the question, and only we can hear her.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I know, we can
so the
only
ingredients on this thing.
Yeah.
The audience doesn't get to hear her amazing insights. They're only mine and Rosie's.
And mine.
Ingredients. This particular tea is a black tea base with calendula petals, cacao nibs, ginger, cinnamon, clove, peppercorns, and natural flavors.
Our favorite ingredient. What's it smell like?
It smells like chocolate. It smells like chocolate and ginger.
Like a hot winter, like a nice, like a hot winter drink.
Yeah. No, this smells really good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm wearing appropriate levels of bundle for this.
I feel like I need another layer.
Everybody can.
I wish that you could see my dog right now. He's like trying to get underneath this blanket that's on the ground, and like he's pushing it on top of his sister instead. And she looks really unhappy. Anyways, this smells really good. I'm excited.
Yes.
My handy dandy infuser.
I also have one of those. Also, let's start our. So that
oh yeah. What do we have to do? 200 degrees for 3 to 5 minutes.
Yep, 200 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius or Kelvin.
Well, right. Don't do 200 degrees Celsius. That's
radians. Isn't there another one? Radians. Radians measure heat. Someone go ask my dad. He's a science man.
John's dad. Where are you?
Science and doing science.
Nikki is letting the audience know that is not how you measure, how you get the water heated up for tea.
Do you have a special mug today?
I do. Hang on.
Okay. I have my clear globe mug here.
Nice.
I like this one. I like this one for trying teas because you can really see the color, right?
That's true.
And
I have my +5 for sarcasm.
Oh God.
So we're rocking this one today.
Nikki is like ASMR in my ear because I got my little in-ear monitor here, and it's just like, so good. And I'm like, oh,
hey.
I feel like I should leave. It's gone, Nikki. It's all gone.
We should bring Nikki on.
Bring her on.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's everyone else get to hear Nikki. Okay. I'm gonna.
Oh, fine. I'll share her, I guess.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi. How's it going, everybody? Hey, everybody.
It's going great. Please welcome our guest, Jackie Onassis Kennedy.
Yeah, right. I love this.
How's it going?
Ooh, fancy.
Well known. Ooh, I dig it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. What can I say?
I see what you did there. I like that my web captioner literally picked up me saying ha ha ha. Like it says that.
Ha ha ha. This is a normal human laugh.
I thought that mine was, but now I'm doubting my laughing.
This is my fancy.
Nikki, welcome to Sip Happens.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to talk about the sips and the happens.
Two cool things.
Yep, those are the things we talk about. You got it. So, Nikki, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? What are you drinking?
First of all, hi everyone. I'm Nikki. Sorry, that's a whole bit that is part of the brand, so I have to do that. Hi, I'm Nikki. You guys can probably find me on the Twitter. You can definitely find me on the Twitter. Who am I kidding? I'm always there shit posting at the Wigged DM. You can also find me on Twitch with Ladies ATL, Craftic Studios, and Chaotic Tiefling, where I play various Dungeons and Dragons and or tabletop RPG games. It's pretty rad and exciting. Other than that, I've been stuck in my house for a year with my beautiful family. We're expecting another one as we speak. So coming this summer. Mini Nikki, watch out. It's pretty exciting actually. So, but other than that, yeah, no. As far as tea goes, I'm drinking a Twinings basic ass bitch girl Gray. I want to be where you guys are with your tea brewing. I've talked with many people about potentially getting a tea press because that's kind of where, yeah.
I love a Twinings. Twinings Lady Grey is my like go-to. I'm lazy as fuck tea. Like, don't ever disparage your tea choices here.
I don't. I realize that like I want to waste less, I guess is the better thing. Like one, it's better, like loose leaf tea is better and also does not, you don't have the strings in the bag that you waste. Which I wish I could not do. So that's what I'm drinking. And then my my mug is my brand. More branding.
Ooh,
Oh
I
God.
haven't seen this mug before. Where do I
that
get
is
one?
beautiful. Yeah, how do one of us get one of those?
All of our merchandise currently is on Redbubble. So there's the Slady's logo that's all on there, and we also have the wonderful classes icons. All of these, including the Slady's logo, were made by Bree, whose last name I forget, but she's Nerdette Designs on Twitter. You guys should check her out. She's a wonderful designer of online things. Graphic designer. There we go. Wow.
Words are words.
She's also played it in one or two games here on Slady's ATL. Eventually, hopefully, in a campaign if I ever, get my shit together.
So Slady's ATL.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Name.
So Slady's is not an unusual name. You can find it all over the internet. We've looked. And it started out as a event with the since gone ATL D&D, which was a group that did free drop-in games at bars over on Edgewood. If you're in the Atlanta area, you know what that is. Essentially, you show up to the bar, pick up a character sheet, and play in a free one-shot. Which it was really, really fun, and I super enjoyed it. And we started doing like cool charity events that were also really fun. They were kind of like branded in, not really branded, just like today we're doing Saturday morning cartoons. It's Pride Month. Let's do things to raise money for the LGBT community. And in March, I was like, or before March, I was like, hey, I want to do a week of women-led games where we have a bunch of really rad ladies in the Atlanta area that can come and play in these games, and we can charge money for it, and all the proceeds will go to Girls Inc. And so the name Slady's Night was gone. That was the first one. And unfortunately, ATL D&D has pretty much liquidated at the beginning of quarantine of last year due to various things that we can get into in the actual like more in the podcast or more into this recording. But
we're gonna call it a talk show. We do a talk show where we talk and hang out.
That's way better. I am awake. I'm very, very much awake.
We trust you and believe you.
Yeah. So while that was happening, there was still a want, like a fervid ferocity for women-led games and more women in tabletop community things. So we decided to take Slady's and move it online to Twitch and Discord and pretty much where everybody else was going with the move to online gaming. And we decided to change the name from Slady's Night to Slady's ATL. That way we can still be found, but also like we're an Atlanta-based group. A lot of our players aren't Atlanta-based, but when and if this becomes a thing that we can go back to doing live and in person in venues, we would love to start doing this again in conventions or in the various bars that we enjoyed and had fun with.
In person, you say? That sounds amazing.
I've never heard of it.
I miss those things. That's awesome
so
that you're doing that. I love the idea of, bringing more women into tabletop and encouraging.
Well,
I had
so-
a campaign called. Go ahead.
No, this is I do want to clarify. While we are majority women led, we also are very catering to queer, non-binary, and those that identify as women now.
Yeah.
So we love our men, some of us more than others, but unfortunately, we do tell our audience that the men of our channel take a backseat role when it comes to the streaming and the everything else going on there.
Good. Put them in the back.
No
men on this channel. None. No men on this channel.
I mean, they exist, but they're very much like allies.
I have an excellent memory of talking to Nikki about Slades and just about slaves. No web captioner. About Slades and I'm just gonna minimize it. And I can't look at it while we're doing things, or I'll get distracted.
Yeah, I know the same thing happens to me.
But I was like, I organize in the Atlanta area, and I was like, oh yeah, if y'all need anything, or if there's anything I can do to help out, please let me know. And Nikki was like, yeah, we're really trying to like feature women and non-binary people, and especially like people of color and queer people. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a queer non-binary person of color. And Nikki was like, oh. It was an excellent moment. I was like, yes. Oh no. I understand how I present. Like I get it. Like I'm in a straight presenting relationship. My wife identifies as a cisgendered woman last time I checked. Genuinely haven't. If it's changed, then cool. Like I get it. I also usually have the beard, and I'm very.
Holy shit! What happened to your beard?
Oh, good one. Just in the right time, Nikki. Good job.
Thank you. I have comedic timing.
This is pretty good. I like that.
That was amazing.
No, it was nice. It's one of my favorite moments of her being like, "Oh, not bad."
Anyway. I don't mean to assume anything about anybody, but also like, I also have that issue where I'm like, for a very long time, people looked at me and was just like, "So, ethnically ambiguous tan lady?" Like, no, black.
I mean,
just black.
I used to be an ethnically ambiguous tan person, and then I stayed inside for a year, and now I'm white. Like my Dutch side.
Yeah, you are very you're whiter than I am. I feel like in some. I mean, I have an orange curtain going for me right now, so I have a little color on my skin.
But no, like I'm pretty pale. I'm fairly pale, but I tan up real nice if the sun would ever come back out. So you mentioned ATL-D&D and having your roots in that organization.
Yes.
So I will, in the sake of transparency, I volunteered with ATL-D&D a few times. I did a couple of the special events and such with them, as well as attended things to support like Slady's Night. But there is some controversy there, right? There's some history there.
Yeah. So we can just jump right into that because it's a pretty big deal. At least in our still small sector of ATL gaming, and also just like what really kind of really cemented my want and drive to have more women umbrella women
right
led things with pretty much woman plus any other thing that so ATL-D&D started out as a free thing. Everything was out of pocket for all of our small event things. So we were only doing it like twice a night at the Joystick Bar. And then eventually we did the one bar crawl where we got like 3 bars to host this event that was all day, where people got to go from bar to coordinating colored DM tables and pretty much play in a mega game, essentially.
Awesome.
It was rad. It was super rad. We had like 4 more after that. Sladies and I was actually supposed to be one of those big mega bar crawls where I got 24 women dungeon masters. I was very proud. Women or queer dungeon masters. It's rad. It's like yeah, it's hilarious. But
I'm fascinated to know what our Dragon's doing.
yeah,
Or someday Rosie will find her mute button for things like that.
nah, it's fine. It's good to cut into it every now and again.
Yeah, no, I hope she doesn't. I enjoy how everything is.
I love it.
Yeah, I did a couple of those bar crawls myself. And to be clear, when we talk about colored tables, we mean like this is table green, not this is the table with all the Indian people.
No. But also that would have been rad. That would have been rad.
I mean, a table. I would 100% play at a table with all Indian people. I know like 3 Indian gamers other than myself. But yeah, but no, like, we weren't segregating people.
No. We weren't separating people by their skin tone, unless they came in dressed as a goblin, which I had that guy who painted his entire body green. So that was a thing. That
sound like something Thor would do.
Thor would absolutely do that. But it would have been tasteful. Right. Like it actually would have been like a good coat of paint rather than looking very splotchy and haphazard, which again, I'm not. This guy committed to his bit, and I applaud him for it. I saw way more of his body than I really wanted to, though, so that's my whole thing.
No, not acceptable.
No, like he was wearing like a decent sized loincloth, but like cosplay level loincloth, so like there weren't bits just hanging out. But I did see more of his body than I really wanted to. Sometimes I just don't want to see a whole green person body. But he was enjoying himself. He was having a good time. It was August in Georgia, so like chase your bliss. Anyway, besides the bar crawls, they also had charity events. They did panels at conventions like MomoCon. They did a lot. They did so much, and not only that, but also like had fun game nights at various bars. But eventually, through all of this, you can't really run this on somebody else's pocket money alone. So eventually, they for at least for the bar crawls, they were charging. They got kickbacks from the bars, usually like a small little like 10%, 5%, 10% kickback of any drinks that people would buy that were at these events. So they they needed to like have a treasury, have people who were kind of there to run these events and kind of regulate everything. And you could kind of tell that sort of the behind the scenes stuff of it had been very, I don't want to say slapdash, but the people running it were like, friends with one another.
Right.
Also, the only woman on there was me for a very long time until we got April. And then
who is April?
April,
I know who April is because she's trying to produce my
I don't know who April is.
Tell April Ray, hi girl, love you. Sorry I talk about things when you tell me not to. She is the co-host, co-owner of Slady's ATL. She also lives here in Atlanta, and she's great and wonderful. And I actually play with her in several games. The one we do on Fridays, every Friday, on Slady's ATL, Hunt for the Heart Shards, and also on Chaotic Tiefling with the D&D Surprise Party. It's pretty great. So she is my right hand, and we pretty much relied on one another through the ATL D&D days, sort of, kind of, pretty much. And we were the only two women. We were also both queer by POC women. They had two other men of actually, I think both of them were, one of them was either Indian or from Malaysia, and then the other one was either Turkish or Arabic. I could not tell you, honestly, off the top of my head. Actually, and Justice is Indian too. Justice is like you, Sean, where he presents as a white cis male, but he is actually a queer person of color. But he is Irish. His dad is Irish, so just
my mom's Dutch, right? So
yeah, just completely wipe that away. But what I'm trying to get at though is that the people that were on the staff, none of that position was paid. You just kind of did it on good faith, and were 90% men and 50% white cis, mostly hetero. We had a pretty good, decent like mixture of queer, but even then it's like mostly gay or yeah, just gay. Which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but
we're taking a stance here on Sip Happens. Gay isn't a bad thing.
Gay is not a bad thing, but it's not the only type of queer in the quilt bag community. I like saying quilt bag a lot.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So that was just my biggest thing, was like there could be better representation in the people
in the organization.
And we had asked for that. One, not a lot of people want to do that sort of thing for free. And two, the type of people who were showing up, and at least showing up consistently every week, were white cis heterosexual men or white cis gay men. And again, this is not a bad thing, but when you walk into a bar and you see nothing but white dudes playing D&D and one lady or one person of color, just generic person of color, it not that it doesn't look good, but you won't get the representation that you really want. You won't get that diversity that you are kind of wanting. So I was very vocal about, having events that were catered more towards, look, we were running games on Edgewood Boulevard over in Atlanta, which is in the heart of like the Black neighborhood of Atlanta. I mean, there are Black people everywhere in Atlanta and in Georgia, but like that's where the Black people hang out. And the fact that we had, by the end of it, we had one group of Black people that would come and play with them, and I loved them, and they were great, and I protected them. I was like, whatever you guys need, I will fight people for your right to come and play here. Not that anybody was like telling them that they couldn't play here.
Yeah. But
you want to try and cater that space, and even if it's just like having those people around, not just like people of color around, but people in color in power that can advocate for this safe space. People of color and women in this space that can advocate for it. And there were a lot of we had a few bad eggs that were like actually like whole, you are bad, you are disrespectful in this space, so we have to like kick you out. And then there were the people that were actually in power, that gave money, that were always at events, that were supportive, that had at multiple times had been brought up in sexual harassment and sexual assault allegations to us. And not like they would always be brushed off as being overly friendly, or just wanting a hug. That's just how they are. And it's like, that's fine, it's great, but if you want this space that you are claiming is safe for everybody, you can't just brush aside the many, like 20 or so women and queer individuals coming forward about one or two consistently constant people just kept coming up. One in particular, and nothing got done about it.
We want to name names? No,
I don't.
I'm okay with not doing it.
We're already putting it.
But yeah.
But that was the amount of times that when this came up, when finally something was being done about it, which was when we all got kind of put on quarantine that first month or so, like April, May, was when all of that really kind of started coming up. Or was it June? I think it was actually June. It was like right before my birthday. I remember like all this like hitting the fan, because a whistleblower came out on Facebook and talked about Sketch, who has been banned from the burlesque community because of his actions there. Very sexual harassment and sexual assault. And in that post, they talked about how Sketch had been one of the mainline dungeon masters at the ATL D&D events. And so someone was like, hey, someone's calling out Sketch here and putting ATL D&D here. What should we do about it? And me and April and Justice pretty much were like, you can't, what do you mean? What should we do about it? Like, first of all, you should make a statement saying, hey, this person is no longer with us and you should kick Sketch out. 2, we've told you about him. We've told you that people are uncomfortable at his tables. So there's that. That shouldn't be a surprise. And 2, since we're just, going to air out some grievances because this is apparently like share time, we've told you about the other gentleman. And we've told you about him as well. He's in the chat right now. We're going to call him out because we've told you multiple times that he has been sexually harassing and assaulting people here, myself and April included. And you have not listened to us. So until this gets cleaned up, until you guys make the right choice to kick these people out and make things right, we are going to leave. And that was that. That was, we left. We left the servers. We just dipped out. What ended up happening after that was almost like a domino effect that got bigger and bigger and bigger. People started reaching out to ATL D&D, who then put out a post about it, pretty much kind of saying that their involvement with these people weren't as big as a deal. And several women on that post came forward and were like, no, we told you that we were sexually harassed and assaulted by these people, and you need to fix this. That is not fair to what we're doing. That is not fair to what happened to us. Fix it. And eventually ATLD&D got to the point where they felt that they had no other choice than to completely liquidate the company and shut it down. Which we did not tell them to do
if
that.
I remember.
Very suddenly, like it happened within like 48 hours. Like the sketch stuff happening, us leaving, those posts, and then them shutting down. Like that all happened within like 48 hours.
I wanna clarify a couple things, just for people who are at home. So we're talking about two separate people, right? Who are primary complaints against. One being Sketch, who was a DM but not in leadership, and the other one, who we have not named, was in leadership.
He was a DM. He was in leadership. He was one of the bigger reasons why we got so many sponsorships, which is the reason that he was put on the council, was because he was the one that got us sponsorships with D&D Beyond and Wizards of the Coast.
Sure. Okay. And so that all sounds really intense. It sounds like a really intense 24 hour or 48 hours, but it was
a whole week.
Yeah. My oh wow, that's a lot. That we've been here for a while. Rosie just sent me a message.
Oh, whoops.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure that Sean knew where we were at time. Keep going.
Yeah. But the complaints have been coming in for longer than that, right? Like they had been around for a while.
So a lot of the there were like 3 or 4 event runners. Those are pretty much the people that like bring the box of character sheets, dice, pencils, books for people to use. We'll hawk our merchandise at the events, and they pretty much do just act as like almost the DM for the event. Like they have to have things prepared for the people coming in, and also act as like the face of ATLD&D when shit goes down. Unfortunately, there was not a set like code of conduct that we had originally written until a lot of these things started happening. I actually made one for this ladies' night bar crawl. I was like, we are going to have a code of conduct that we are going to put here. And I specifically was actually asking that these 2 individuals not be allowed to come to these events. And I was told no. I was told we can't ban these 2 specific people. That doesn't seem fair, which is another. There's several things about this ladies' night bar call that well, that's like its own little mini gripance that I have.
We're gonna have you back to spill the tea about that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I can.
Let me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. The showrunners are were the ones that were getting these allegations. Specifically, me and Justice and April and one other woman who was not necessarily actually a showrunner or event runner, but she was there like pretty consistently, and also just like she's just rad as fuck, and it's hard to like not see her, and she's very visible. So like she would be one of those people that you could obviously go to and talk to. And when we mentioned these allegations to the people that are apparently supposed to be dealing with this, which I thought, if I am the event runner, I should be able to deal with these things here and now. Why do I have to go through a whole like Jedi Council meeting to deal with this? I've just been told by somebody that another person has made them uncomfortable by doing such and such a thing. I know he's done this multiple times. Why can't I not just be like, hey, this guy should no longer be allowed to come to events? Like cut and dry.
I mean, that makes sense. So since we have heard about the time, um, what are some positive takeaways, right? Like, and Rosie, like, please jump in on this. How do we build a community? How do we build our communities to be more inclusive? How do we make sure that these kind of like systemic problems are at least as mitigated as possible, right?
Yeah, so what we've done with ATLD and ATLD, Slady's ATL, is that we reached out to the people that we wanted to play with. We reached out to BIPOC women. We reached out to queer individuals. We not only did we want it to be diverse, but we wanted it to be fun. We wanted it to be people that we enjoyed playing with. And those are the people that we have that are like, you know, hey, come and watch our content. Here's this really great person that's going to be here. But they're not required to like ban people or like be the face of Slady's. Like that's me and April's job. If we ever find anybody that also wants to take on some of the, like, you know, behind the screens burdens and things, that would also be there. We would happily take on another person, but we also like aren't big enough yet. Anyway, but we were just like, no, yeah, we're going to reach out to, we're gonna like tell people to come and like join our community. We're not gonna be like against that, but we are very vocal about like we believe that, you know, listen to women, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, fuck most politicians and fuck cops, essentially. And that whole, that's our whole brand. And then we just reached out to people that we wanted to share that brand with. And I mean, I know that's what ATLD indeed did as well, but at the same time, when they asked for these voices that they wanted, women's voices, BIPOC voices, they also wanted to be included in those spaces. And that is what I wanted to avoid with Slady's. It's like, I'm here and I want you to invite you into this space and give you the box to stand upon and have your moment. And I will stand back here in the shadows and be the like little sweezy little mastermind that makes sure that nobody comes within your space, kind of thing. Because I think that was the biggest thing, is like, give people the space to do that, step away from the spotlight and protect that space that these people are trying to cultivate. Like that's what you should do in a tabletop.
That's awesome. That is awesome. How you doing, Rosie?
I'm good.
Sorry, I talk a lot.
You're in good company. Important question, Rosie. How's your tea?
I like it. It tastes like chocolate.
It does taste like chocolate. I am thoroughly enjoying this. This is Fawn by Dryad Tea. For those of you watching at home, you can use the code SIPHAPPENS at checkout at dryadtea.com, I assume, to get 10% off your order. Thank you, Dryad, for helping us out with that.
Yeah.
Should we tell Nikki about our rating system?
Do you have it pulled up, unlike every other week where we do this?
I actually do, yeah.
Wow. You're super impressive.
Yeah,
let's tell Nikki how we rate our tea.
Okay. So we do 0 to 5 stars. There's a gnat. I don't know where it came from. Anyway, 0 to 5 stars. 0 stars would be bad, would not recommend. 1 star is fine, would not order, would drink to be polite. 2, below average, would drink, wouldn't buy. 3, good, would buy, not preferred. 4, great, will order again. And 5, awesome, must keep on hand.
Those all capitalized.
This goes in the nice china. This goes in the nice mugs. We pull out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This goes in my bug out bag, so I make sure I have it when I have to flee the country.
Mm.
That's a good bag to have.
Very good.
My partner and I made bug out bags before the election last year. It's a real thing. So
Yeah.
Rosie,
Yes.
further thoughts other than it tastes like chocolate?
I like it. I think it's got some good flavor. It's got good flavor. Like I can taste the spices of it in it, but it's not too spicy. Like that sweet cacao kind of balances out that like spice. And I was not wrong. It tastes like something I would want to be like drinking when I was by my fireplace reading a book, curled up in a blanket in my pajamas. Like this would be like a nice evening. I mean, it's got caffeine in it, but like one of those teas that I would drink in like the evening as like a snack.
Very nice.
Yeah. What about you? What are you thinking?
I love it. I think that the ginger and the peppercorns, and then next layer down, the cinnamon and clove all play really well with the cacao nibs and give it like a really good spiced chocolate thing going on, and it kind of tastes like a lighter version of a spiced hot chocolate, with of course the black tea undertones, which I am loving. Yeah, this is really good. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm really happy with this.
Same. Hopefully Dryad's watching this episode.
Yeah. Hey Dryad, hope you're here this time instead of the times that I'm mean about things.
No.
I mean, I'm honest. Like, if I don't like it, I'll tell you. But yes, this one, well done, Dryad. And Nikki, how was your tea?
My Twinings Earl Grey was very good. That's actually my second cup I've had today. It's a 3 on my scale of like teas. Like, yeah, this is my usual brand of tea. Like I know it's in the stores, so I'm excited whenever I get it, and I'm very bummed out when I have to order a different Earl Grey tea. I do really like loose leaf teas though. Back in the day when I actually used to press teas, I'm like thinking about all the tea combinations I used to do, and I'm like, oh, that would have been nice. Anyway, one day I'll get back into that.
There you go. Sean, what are you rating this?
I'm gonna give this. I might give this. So it's a solid 4. I'm deciding whether or not it's a 5. This is very enjoyable. I can see myself going for this really, really often. You know what? I think I will give it a 5. I'm going to give this a 5.
Woo! Our first 5 from Sean.
Is that my first on-screen 5?
That is your first on-screen 5.
Well, there you go, Dryad. You done not messed up this time.
This time.
Nice. I'm going to give this a 4.
A 4 from Rosie.
Yeah, this is a 4 for me. I am in general very much like Nikki. I do like a nice like Earl Grey or like a breakfast, like something more traditional, I guess. But this is something I definitely know that I will probably pull out the next time I go sit and read in front of the fire.
Yeah,
that being said, I definitely prefer like a good chai. Like not like I actually can't do store-bought chai or like chai flavor. Like I don't like it. I if I'm going to have a chai, it's going to be made in a pot with like on my stove.
Yeah.
With like whole cloves and cinnamon and milk. Because that's the only proper way to have it. I do follow that one TikTok of the guy like happily describing how to make a chai tea. It's great. So I'm getting both a tea and some spoons from his voice.
It's lovely.
Oh, that's nice.
have you guys? Do you guys not? Have you not seen this? I'm not on TikTok a lot, but I know like some of the more popular ones. There's if you look up like guy explaining chai TikTok, it is an Indian gentleman that is just very wholesome and sweet and nice, going step by step on how to make a proper, pretty easy chai tea on the stove. It's great.
Beautiful.
And then he has reactions of people listening to him make it, and he like duetting it and watching them. And he's just like, this is great. It's it's very wholesome.
I will check that out.
Heck yes.
Maybe we'll have a link. Who knows?
Cool.
Nikki, I want to thank you for sharing and for your vulnerability. I know that a lot of the topics that we brought up today are not easy to talk about. I know that your personal investment in the Atlanta community certainly can bring that pain home, and being willing to talk about it, and then also to talk about like how to grow communities, how to learn from these things that we go through, right?
Yeah, during all of that was definitely like I lost a lot of. I was also in quarantine, so I had like barely any spoons. But as one of my better tweets, I have lost all of my spoons, and I now only have knives, which is about where I'm at with dealing with communities in tabletop RPG. Like you have the resources. We are too well connected with social media that you can't reach out and find diverse individuals to make your space not only like visually diverse, but have several voices that not only align with yours, but will also help the community grow in a way that is healthy and good. Even if it's just 20 people, the same 20 people, that's a better a better community than 100 with several bad people in it. But I'm very excited about Slady's. I'm very excited about the wonderful people I've gotten to meet. Not just you guys here at Sip Happens. I almost said Sip in Time. That's wrong.
That was a good one too. We'll reconsider.
No, don't.
It's episode 8. There's plenty of time to rebrand.
Yeah.
And like Chaotic Tiefling, which I'm actually surprised that Babs the Bat, several Atlanta people are on Chaotic Tiefling, and
socials will be popping up, so make sure you go follow Nikki and all of the cool things that she's involved in, and figure out how to bring more diversity and acceptance and awesomeness to your community, because Nikki clearly has some plans and is working through it.
Working slowly, one small thing at a time. I wouldn't say a trailblazer, more like a jaunty hot foot. That's about where
I like that.
Thank you.
I'm going to call you Jaunty Hotfoot forever now.
Perfect.
That's exactly what I wanted.
What's the one place online that our masses of fans can find you?
The masses of fans can find me on Twitter at @thewigdm. That's where I post about all of the things that are happening. Speaking of which, unfortunately, this recording will probably come out before then. But Slady's ATL is also super duper into charity. And the final week of February, the 22nd through the 27th, we are actually raising money for Black Girls Who Code. We are going to be all of our games will have opportunities to donate. Some will have incentives, other ones you can just donate while the game's in progress. And we will also be running a charity one shot with Ayana Jones. Actually, she'll be joining us, and I'm actually running her module, a snip here, a stitch there, which you can find on DM's Guild if you look that up. So we'll be doing that and raising money for Black Girls Who Code, because Black Lives Matter even during Black History Month, but then they also matter every other subsequent month until the end of time.
Forever and always.
Awesome.
Forever and always.
Black Lives Matter. I want to.
Black Lives Matter.
Forever and always. Not just right now because it's in the headlines.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, yeah, this is coming out after the last week.
But go donate anyways. Just go donate right to
Black Girls
Code.
Yes.
Go donate to them right now. Just go.
I highly doubt they've gone out of business in the last few weeks. So go donate to them. And then let us know what you donated, and I don't know, we'll pretend to be elves for you or something. Rosie, where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna switch it up. I am sometimes using my Instagram. So I always promote my Twitter on here, but like go to my Instagram. It's Rosie_Games22. And I hang out there. I post pictures of my dogs a lot. And so that'll be fun. And sometimes like remember when we used to play, like when I used to play D&D with people, like I would post pictures of like things that were happening with people. I miss people. Anyways, but eventually that'll happen again, and you can find that on Instagram in the future. What about you, Sean?
I'm gonna mix it up as well. My Twitter's over there, but you can find this show as well as some old unboxing videos I did on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sean Banerjee. It's just Sean Banerjee. I didn't put my birth year like Rosie did.
It's not my 22. My birth year was not 22 of anything. How old do I look to you?
Why are you outing her vampiric origins, Sean? How dare you?
I'm outing her time traveler vampiric origins. Thank you very much. She
I like all of this,
born in
actually.
2022 and then has traveled backward in time. Clearly.
Wow.
How is it in 2022?
Yeah, give us a.
I think you're allowed to leave your house then, if I remember correctly. I was only a baby then, but I think you could safely leave your house.
What the audience actually doesn't know is Rosie's wrong. Her birth year is 2021, and she is Nikki's child. It's like a Doctor Who thing.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't get your hair. I'm sad that I didn't get any curls. My hair's very flat.
I mean, a number of times that is a wig.
Actually,
I assume that.
I'm actually surprised my child has not come running in here demanding attention. You would get to see the beautiful, vast volumes of curls upon his head. It's beautiful.
Yeah, well, you know.
Sorry, not sorry.
It happens. So go visit Sean on YouTube. And
go watch the videos.
And then you can watch old videos of this.
It's what everybody wants to do with their time.
I agree. Cool. Nikki, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. I love talking a lot about things that I am passionate about, which is tabletop RPG and having diverse communities. That's my brand. I'm very happy about it.
It's a pretty cool brand to have. So it's awesome.
I didn't expect this. If I could go back in time and look at my teenage self and be like, teenage self, don't worry about these dumb big-headed boys. You are going to grow up and play so much Dungeons and Dragons. You're going to use your theater degree for that, and also be the feminist that you were scared to be in middle school. Don't worry, it's going to be great. Also, going to be hella bi, like hella bi. Just really lean into it. You were already starting, and then you got a little worried. Just lean into it. Nobody cares.
Yeah. I think I'd have almost the same conversation with my teenage self. I feel like that would have been the exact. I've been like, listen, this sucks. We are aware, but like, it's gonna get better. You're gonna, and then like, you get to help teens using D&D. Like, you're gonna help them with their social skills, and it's gonna be great, and that's fun. And also, yay for being bi. Remember that girl that you like were mad at because she wouldn't talk to you, and you didn't know why you were mad at her? It's because you had a crush on her. Weird.
I would have much the same conversation. There's so many cute boys I didn't make out with in high school. I'm sad about, but I did reconnect with one of them who lives here in Atlanta. And just before quarantine, we made out in a church.
Okay, that took a turn I wasn't expecting.
What? We were having a meeting, and then we made out some, and then we stopped because we were like, we should talk to our respective partners and everything. And everything is fine, but then quarantine happened, and
not very fair. I definitely had to have many talks with, also polyamorous, had many talks with my partners before quarantine and during quarantine about being like, hi, so can't leave our house, and mental spoons, can't really do relationships at the moment. Hope you understand. And all of them were like, oh no, same, whole ass same. Same.
Let's
love you,
everything.
take care. But yeah pause.
We will see you what were we talking about earlier, Sean? I was like, do you remember when we thought quarantine was like going to be about 8 months long, and like now we're rolling into a year? And I'm like, I remember when I was like, oh, this will be, oh yeah, because they were talking about going to Evermore, and I was like, yeah, we'll be able to go in spring 2021. There's no reason why that would be an issue. Like, we'll make plans to go, and here we are. And I'm like, well, maybe fall 2021. Like, fall seems like a good time to travel.
I'm looking forward to 2023, the next time anybody can go outside.
I know, it's going to be great.
Well, on that cheery note.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everyone, for the happiest episode of Sip Happens. And as we like to say,
Sip happens.
Sip happens.